Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and today I am joined by the glorious Josh. You may have seen him on the channel before.
Hello.
He's a legend. Hello.
Hello,
my friend. Hello.
Friend, yes, hi.
Do you remember? Love it. Anyway, I was going to go off on a mad tangent before the video even started, and I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do today, guys, is talk about the Season 7 support meta and the way this is going to go, and who is actually going to be the best supports. Now, obviously, Orisa is not a support, so I don't know why I'm going to talk about her, but Moira is a support. She's not out yet, but I think we've got a little bit of we can kind of speculate on where she might fit into the game, because we've actually watched quite a lot of high-level Moira play on the PTR. I had the privilege of watching pros scrim for hours with Moira as well, which was super interesting, which some of that footage was put onto the channel. But anyway, let's get stuck into this. I think the first question is the Mercy meta dead?
Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it? I mean, we've had a while now, and I think a lot of people are sort of like, at the start of it, I've got to say, like, Mercy is better than she was in terms of just playstyle, right? That was the idea of the change to the Resurrect. She's just more fun to play, more active, more engaging, but then Resurrect kind of just spilled out of control. It just started taking over the game, and so the meta sort of revolved entirely around playing around that Resurrect. We started seeing tankier comps come in, we started seeing less mobility being favored. You just want to sort of stand in one place, res people, pick people up. Is the Mercy meta dead? I don't know. If you still play those team comps with the new res that's on the PTO with that sort of almost 2-second cast time, as long as you're sort of relatively tanky and you're protecting the Mercy, you could still probably get those reses off. But what it does mean is that your tracers, for example, are going to be a little bit stronger, because they can punish those reses. If you go for a res and there's a tracer around, she's just going to empty a clip into your back and probably get a couple of kills.
Yeah, I think as well, like, obviously the nerf to Mercy's res, which in case you guys don't know, it adds a very short cast time to the res, so she can't instantly res. What this means is she can't just fly out into the front line and res somebody who has died really stupidly. Because the one thing it annoyed me with, I mean, I would be guilty of this, is I'd jump in as Winston all crazy and die. It's like, oh, what have I done? But it doesn't matter, because I'm just going to get resed, and then she's going to Guardian Angel away. And that is, like, that's not great. Like, she almost enabled really poor play, which is not good. So it's good that they've gone back and kind of changed this. But like I said, the question is the Mercy meta dead? And I want to say right now, if you are a Mercy player, don't necessarily worry too much. I don't think she's dead. I think her pick rate will go down. I don't think it'll be like, well, yeah, her pick rate is crazy, but I don't think it's going to be like, uh-oh, Mercy's dead sort of thing. We're never going to see her again. It just means that you can't do those sort of deep in enemy lines crazy reses and then jump back out of the fight again. You literally cannot do that. And also, while you are channeling your res, or you know, using the cast time on it, you can be interrupted by a lot of different abilities. So, you know, again, if she is like trying to jump out and do something ridiculous, McCree can flashbang her, you know, all manner of other effects can basically prevent it from doing that, which is good because it adds a counter to what was an uncounterable ability. And I've always said this, that I firmly believe if somebody gets a pick at the start of a fight, that is the most valuable thing you can do. If you are playing a Widow, or it doesn't even matter what hero you're playing, if you kill one of the enemy team, that is beautiful. It should not just be, oh, that's instantly been taken away from you because I've pressed a button on the keyboard. But it's a very delicate issue, Mercy, as you guys all know. Every time I discuss Mercy, it's like, Sty, why'd you hate Mercy? It even says, you see my washboard. No, you see my whiteboard, haven't you, Josh? It says on that, I love Mercy. And it's true. Mercy's actually in the logo for Unit Lost. Her wings are. So what more can I say?
It's part of your heraldry, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, because I haven't absorbed quite as much hate yet, so, you know, it's time for me to sort of put myself out there a little bit, I suppose. I played a huge amount of Mercy during the beta. I kind of enjoyed Mercy, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a support main, right? During Season 2 or Season 3, me and Stylosa somehow ended up on the UK team for the World Cup, and we both had to play support.
Don't remind me. Oh,
yeah,
no.
And Stylosa would outright not play Mercy, so I played Mercy and I played Anna, and we just put Sty and Lucio, and I kind of took over the other supports. And ever since then, I've been a support main, and it was just nice to see sort of Mercy get more engaging, get more fun, but now it's hit the point where you almost feel obligated, and that's sort of the big issue I see with most support players is we're sort of fed up with the obligation to play Mercy. I want to be able to play some other stuff. I want to be able to play Zenyatta every now and then. I want to be able to play Anna again, probably the next person we should talk about, because she's getting a slight bump, a very small buff, but I still don't think it's enough. She's quite weak at the moment. There's still a lot of barriers in the game which shut down a lot of what she does, and it's going to be tricky to sort of slowly work her in. But of course, you know, we remember Season 3, we remember Tank Comp, we remember those days.
We don't want that again, and I worry because I think Moira might be a slight enabler of that. Anyway, last words on Mercy, guys. She's not really going to go anywhere too far. She is going to reduce in power level, she's still going to be highly effective. She still has an amazing ultimate.
Yeah,
like,
Valkyrie's still great.
Valkyrie is supreme. Like, that is a fantastic.
And it doesn't have the cast
really
time
worry.
as well. Like, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
You lose that cast time, so you still have that ability to bring 2 people back at the start of a fight. Or if the enemy team ults, for example, and Junkrat gets a Riptide raid and gets 2 kills, you can still pick them both back up as Mercy. It's just a lot harder to do it if just Tracer gets a pulse bomb or someone, or a Genji dashes into the backline stupidly, and he gets punished for that now. Whereas he doesn't at the moment.
I think we agree that she's not really going to go anywhere too crazy, but I think the must-pick Mercy's probably going to go down, and that's for the best. Anyway, let's move on to Ana, because, as you said, Josh, you are an Ana main, and I do play a lot of Ana myself as well. Now, Ana has, or will have, a 10 damage buff, so she'll do 10 extra damage, which means she can, well, 3-shot Pharahs again, which will be beautiful. That's it. But is this enough to bring her back into the game? And what actually is the problem with Ana? Like, why does she have a relatively, well, a very difficult time in the current meta of the game?
Well, what I would say with Ana, like you said, like the 3-shot kill is a big deal, and especially when you consider, like, you know, it's now 1 shot on Tracer and a grenade, for example, you can kill her. There's a lot of, like, very, very subtle things that the 10 damage buff will start to address. Ana's biggest issue, though, is a reliability issue, and Winston sort of crept up in the meta. Winston got better and better and better, and then as Winston's got better, Ana's sort of sunk back and sunk back and sunk back, and that's because when Winston jumps on Ana and puts a big bubble on top of her, it's like, you know, putting a spider in a glass or something. She can't do anything anymore. You've got to get out of the bubble. Barriers block all your healing. You're just that much less effective, while other healers don't quite have that same issue. They can still be very effective even if stuff's in their face. And so the dive meta sort of pushed Ana back, and then sort of Mercy came in. You still got these very, very barrier-centric comps where it's just very hard to get that healing effect out. I think some of it is slightly psychological as well. Sort of she's been on the back foot for a while, so people have just stopped playing her. They're not quite as good with her, and she's a very skill-intensive hero, so that does start to drop out. But I still don't think it's quite enough. There's still just a couple of weaknesses there. The healing might not quite be as reliable as it needs to be, perhaps, and so she's still not going to find full favor.
Yeah, I mean, with the D.Va rework, obviously that helped her quite a lot, because it was really frustrating to have your Bionate just deleted all of the time. That was extremely frustrating. So that obviously compounded the issue that Ana suffered from. But now, with D.Va being reworked, so obviously she's got half the defense matrix she used to have, but it's more just the barrier issue. There's so many barriers in the game, and it's so difficult to, like, yeah, she is high skill, and yeah, you can still kind of be effective with her, but the problem is, you put that player on another support, and they're just way more effective. That's the problem. So, I mean, what would you do? Like, I had some I shouldn't probably talk about this, but I had some interesting discussions with some people, and I was like, I won't name these people. I was like, yeah, just let her fire through barriers, and they're like, there is no way that will ever happen. So I will not go into detail on that. But anyway, like, how would you fix this? Like, she's, I kind of see her like, she's sort of like McCree in a way. Yeah, you make a little change to McCree, and he just becomes unstoppable. You make a little change to Ana, and it's like,
the part of it is, like, Ana has so many good things on her, right? She's got this crowd control, right? The sleep is super powerful.
The kit is amazing.
The anti-heal grenade is super powerful. Even the heal grenade itself is super powerful. So she's got all these really, really great things. I think it's just very, very subtle changes that need to happen here and there to really sort of make it work. One idea that I hear very regularly that's a buffed and nano boost is just that nano boost reloads you when you get it on you. So if someone...
kind of like Reaper with Wraith form.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get nano boosted, like, one of the worst things is you get nanoed and you're like, oh, I gotta reload. Oh god, and it's ticking down, and everyone's judging me and what I'm doing. Now it'll just like reload you, and so that would be just a nice, very small thing, but it's just a nice little quality of life improvement. There's other subtle things you can do as well, like, you know, changing reload time, which will make her that little bit more reliable or less punishing.
I think they messed around with that. Yeah, they messed around with that quite a lot. I remember when she was first introduced, didn't they?
They increased the clip size as well, I think, as well.
Clip size, yeah. Because I think she was at 6 or something.
It was at 8 at first, I think, and then they added 2 more, maybe. I don't know.
Did they? Yeah, it was pretty low. Anyway, Ana, I think she'll be slightly more effective because she does more damage, but it's still early days for Ana, and I guess this is kind of them just not wanting to make crazy changes, which kind of sounds stupid of me to say because they've totally reworked heroes just sort of out of the blue, so who knows what the hell is going on at Blizzard. So, Mercy, yeah, she's still kind of going to be there. Ana, it's still difficult for Ana. Let's talk about Zen. So Zen doesn't really have any changes, but Zen is Zen, right? So Zen is...
Zen's steadily been getting better.
Pretty
I
beefy.
I'd call it the boombox effect, right? Like, people learn... the right-click was buffed a while ago, so it did the same amount of DPS as it normally does. Don't worry too much about the details. Right-click is really good now. And people have kind of learned that right-click is really good. Boombox was sort of the first Zenyatta, the pro player who sort of went out and demonstrated this. That ability to kill someone at the start of a fight is huge. It's enormous.
Yeah, right. So I actually remember saying, oh, you know, never ever use secondary fire. Just keep firing primary fire. What's the point of secondary fire? Like, you have to be so lucky to land the shots. But over time, obviously, you watch Boom and you watch the other pros play with Zen, and it's like, well, actually, people move in very predictable patterns around the map. So this alternate fire is crazy powerful. You go straight in with a fully charged Zen secondary fire, and it's like, oh, I've just taken somebody out. This is so beautiful. And oh, I'm a support as well. That is so powerful.
And I think one of the things that Zen and Lucio will bring you, just to sort of bring up the other two supports into, well, like the quote-unquote other two, aside from Mercy and Ana,
yeah,
you have these very powerful ultimates as well. And like this all nicely pushes to the next topic, which is these...
Well, actually, let's stay on this for a second, because I don't know whether people entirely understand this, but the reason why Zen and Lucio are so played at the pro level is because their defensive ultimates are really powerful. Like, maybe you should touch onto that a little bit, just like kind of flesh that out a little bit, because
yeah. So the way that pros structure fights, like, they are very, very constructive. Pros like to start a fight with a plan, and the plan is usually, you know, they all keep track of the enemy team's ult, so they'll know that Zenyatta has Transcendence. So if they try and do anything, they know that Zenyatta's just going to Transcendence it. So what they'll do is they'll say, okay, we're going to dive Zenyatta, or they'll say something similar to, we're going to dive Zenyatta, and they'll just jump on the Zen, try and force out the Transcendence, and then they'll start using Dragon Blades or Tactical Visors, stuff like that. They're trying to bait out these big, powerful support ultimates, like Sound Barrier and like Transcendence, or previously like Mercy Res as well. Valkyrie, you can still kind of do the same thing, but Valkyrie's a little bit different in how it works, how long it lasts, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're generally just trying to play around these big, powerful support ultimates, and it's sort of one of those things that defines the support at the moment, is these very game-changing sort of denial ultimates, aside from Ana, that is sort of the playmaker.
Well, yeah, she doesn't hurt. Like, yeah, anyway, let's move on to Moira, as you were going to move on to, because talking of support ultimates, Moira has the weakest support ultimate by a mile, and this it's a weird one, yes, because it's Coalescence, it's called. It's basically the GDI ion cannon from Command & Conquer, if any of you guys have played that. So she does damage and she heals at the same time, but there's obviously a trade-off with this, because it cannot be... Like, okay, I can put this very simply. If you get Gravitoned and then Hanzo fires his ult through the Grav, you cannot fire your Coalescence through the Grav to save your team. They will all die. It doesn't do enough healing to actually like counter that. Same for Pulse Bombs. They're just going to wipe you out straight away. So it's like a really weird...
it's not even
need ults. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, we got this... Yeah, if you're just stuck in the Grav and all six... Well, not all six, but most of the enemy team are just shooting it into that Graviton Surge, Coalescence is not going to do enough healing to keep everyone alive, and that's sort of its weakness. It isn't a game changer. It isn't like, oh yeah, we deny you, we cast the out demon. It doesn't do that. It just does some damage and some healing. Like the upside for Moira is it builds fast. Like, Coalescence really builds quickly, so you can probably get it out first. For example, if you get it out first before the enemy team anyone else has ultimates available, then it's pretty good, then it's pretty powerful. But my concern with it is, why would you have Moira when you could have Zenyatta, when you could have the Transcendence? And like, I've heard people say, you know, oh, well, Moira and Ana, that's so much AoE healing. Oh my god, you grenade it and put an orb through. That's incredible. Like, there's an anti-synergy there because you have no safeties. You have no support ultimates, and the orb just drains faster. It doesn't actually heal more, just for like a mechanical side of thing as well. So it's like, you've got to be careful with Moira and Ana, I think, at this point as well, looking at the support meta going forward, because you want to have at least one of Transcendence, Valkyrie, or Sound Barrier. And I don't think that's going to change too much.
No, I think Moira's almost going to be interchangeable with Ana, at least in my mind. The thing with Moira is she's very fun to play. Now, they seem to be nailing this quite well. I mean, they did it with Doomfist, although Doomfist is never played, but he is a very fun hero. He's got a very fun kit to play. He's just not very effective.
Dreams about Doomfist. I had such dreams.
Hang on, dreams about Doomfist. I know.
Well, okay, steady.
Oh, hello.
Save those ones for Widowmaker. Anyway, moving on.
Moira. I think she is, like, okay, I think she's really, really powerful. Her orbs are insanely powerful, but they take a certain level of skill. Like, you need to get used to where you can fire these things on the map. Like, they have this very, like, weird thing where they just bounce off the map, even though you fire them into a wall, and all science and logic says it'll hit that wall and it'll bounce to the next wall, but actually it just flies up into the air and it disappears. It's like, what the hell is going on? So they are kind of a bit funky, you know, in that kind of way. Her heal, her primary fire, I think is I think that's pretty good just because it goes through multiple targets. So
Yes.
provided your position's okay, like generally towards the back of wherever the ball of the team are, she's pretty powerful for that. What I like about her, though, is the fact you can do damage at quite a long range. I think this is 20 meters. Now,
It's about 20 meters, yeah.
yeah, it's really funky, this is. So it's not... Like, people have referred to this as like a Symmetra beam. It's not really like a Symmetra beam. It's kind of like Symmetra meets Zarya in a way. Like
Zarya,
it's a really weird sort of dynamic. But basically, when you're not healing, you want to be trying to do damage because, you know, it's a decent bit of damage. It's not like you're going to just burn people down. Like, if you guys have watched the hero introduction trailer where she's killing everyone with coalescence and then just sort of like... I think she fades into the first point of King's Row and then just like instantly kills... Is it like...
I think...
Is it
There's
a tank?
clip of her, like,
Is it like a
there's
Reinhardt
a clip of
with
her,
a
like
primary
deleting a
fire?
Reinhardt, a Junkrat, and something else. I think she just like swings the beam over, and all three of them explode. And you get these sort of Dragon Ball Z dreams of like, yeah, I'm gonna go in and Kamehameha the enemy team. No, that's not what happens. You sort of just it sort of like tickles them, and Reinhardt giggles a little bit, and then smashes you with a hammer.
And then you die very fast.
Yeah.
And her fade ability, though, I think is really cool because this is something
It's
Anna
so
doesn't
good.
have. This is an escape ability. Now, this is what, in my mind, puts her sort of a little bit above Anna if you were comparing the pair of them together and they were competing for a slot. Fade it's sort of like, all right, it's like Reaper's Wraith form and Blink have had a baby,
Yes.
and it's a disgusting baby because you can control the blink, and it also removes all negative effects. It takes you out of graviton surges. It's. I mean, this might obviously be subject to change, but it is very. It feels so nice to use.
Dare we say it? It might be OPAF.
I think it is. I think it is.
It's on like a 6-second cooldown as well.
I think it's going to go up to about 8 seconds, probably. Maybe
it's
even
pretty
more.
good.
It is pretty good. But you can do two things with this. So you can obviously rapidly engage on the enemy, push yourself forward, or you can relocate yourself when you get attacked. Because the thing with it, it's not really a problem, but if you get dived on by Winston, you can pop this and get the hell out of there. If Anna gets hit by Winston, it's like, well, you want to hope you've got your nade up to throw that into the ground to at least try and survive or put him to sleep or something. Moira can just get the hell out of there. So I think she's a really fun hero to play. I don't think we're just going to see her in every game straight away, but I think she's going to be viable straight out of the gates. I don't feel like she's just trash. Like when we looked at Orisa, it was like,
oh, man.
Why is this hero in the game? It's like we didn't really need this hero at that time.
That's a really good sign, though, right? Like, to me, it's always a good sign that something is overpowered is if it gets released and everyone instantly loves it and thinks it's the best thing ever. Like you've had no time to practice it. You've had no time to develop instincts around how it works and how it flows. It shouldn't feel great at the outset. It should feel a little bit icky, a little bit, ooh, we don't quite know how this works or how this is going to work out. You want things to feel a little bit underpowered at first, almost, because you got to learn and get better at them. Like, it's example for people to actually get a good mastery on Genji, for pity's sake, in the beta. Like, for ages and ages. Genji, like, if you put beta Genji in the game now, people would lose their friggin' minds. Mercies would be quitting en masse because he would just destroy everyone. And yeah, you don't want things to feel overpowered. And Moira doesn't feel like, you play her on PTR, she feels normal. She doesn't feel like you're this incredible, unstoppable killing machine. She feels relatively normal.
But she's definitely a playable support. I want you guys to, like, listen to what I'm saying here. She is not... If you get a Moira on your team when she launches whenever the hell she... I mean, could be tomorrow based off things I've seen.
There's some hints that it might be soon, but that could just be a printing
tomorrow.
error.
We're recording that video. On Tuesday, the 14th.
There
this video is being recorded on the 13th, ladies and gentlemen, I'll have you know. Anyway, oh my god. Yeah, so Moira I think is pretty decent. The last one is Lucio. Now, where do... like... Lucio is just reliable old Lucio to me. It's like, I don't mind if I've got Lucio.
Like, that was a shocking thing. And I've seen people actually talk about this before, like, why was it okay for Lucio to be considered must-pick in the pro tier for months and months and months and months and months, and now Mercy is, and now that's suddenly a terrible thing. And part of that is just due to Mercy is considered must-pick because she brings healing and resurrect. Lucio was must-pick because he brought speed boost. And speed boost
he changed
is fun.
the way the game was played. Yeah.
Like, speed boost is really cool. Res isn't fun.
Yeah, the whole concept of res in Overwatch is highly frustrating. The problem is they don't really want to deviate away from that because it's Mercy's sort of like thing, you know, she's the angel that resurrects you, and it's like so it's a bit of an issue. But yeah, you're right, like Lucio is sort of like he changed the game in a good way. He sped the game up. Obviously pros are going to like that. It's going to make the game look more I guess, action-packed from a spectator's point of view. But even just in normal games when we play, everybody likes a Lucio. You never say to Lucio, "Oh my God," you know, or you don't get angry towards a Lucio. I mean, I'm not saying get angry towards a Mercy, but Lucio is just, well, he's like Lucio. I think he's, yeah, I don't know. Lucio's fine. The thing is with Lucio is you have to be clever when you use Lucio, and you have to look at who the other support is on your team. Like, you can't just sort of, or at least what you're trying to do, because there's a lot of funky ways you can play this game now, and some of them are very irritating. So if we take, like, I guess Horizon as an example of this, Volskaya first point, anywhere where you can stick Orisa in a little hole, Junkertown, and you're sort of hunkering down, Lucio in that case might not be the best. Yeah, like you could even take an Anna instead of a Lucio there. Yeah, Mercy's obviously the primary healer in all of this, guys, because she hasn't been nerfed just yet, but when she is nerfed, things might change a little bit. Anyway, let's recap all of this. Where do we think, like, what are we kind of speculating will be the established support meta, sort of the go-to, which will work in almost any kind of situation?
The sort of, to me, like, the standard team comp will probably still involve a Mercy. Like, if you want to play a relatively stable and safe way, you can probably go with Mercy, and then if you're on defense, you can probably go with Zen, or if you're on offense, you can either go with Moira or with Lucio. But with Moira being included, you can start to see sort of different team comps being opened up more. Mercy very much favors these, what I call, like, stodgy comps, right? They're like a bowl of oatmeal. They're thick. They don't move. You put them somewhere, you plonk them down, and you don't move, and you res people when they die, and you just stay put. But you can play a very aggressive dive comp, for example, using Moira and using some other things. You can even get Moira involved in that dive comp, send the orb in and stuff like that.
I think Moira works in the stodgy comps as well. Like, Moira is so extremely effective at healing balls of people by throwing balls at them. It's all rather weird, and also spraying all over them. She's just, yeah. I think we are going to see the rise of more tanky comps. I think that's just going to happen. Like, I think we're going to see. I don't know whether more mobility coming in.
That's my dream. That's my dream, is to see more mobility start coming back in, because with Mercy being less strong, like, getting a pick on a target now is you kill the target and Mercy instantly reses it. Now it's going to be more like you get a pick on a target and then Mercy stood there for 2 seconds trying to pick this target back up.
And then you can kill her.
So the Tracer and Genji and Moira and everyone are just going to kill her. So that's sort of easier to punish. So that's where Lucio can start creeping back in, where speed boost is going to be more important, getting into the enemy team. So it's going to be more of an opening. And to me, like, at the end of the day, and this is probably my nice wrap up and end thought, is people ask me all the time when Moira came out, oh, what do you pair with Moira? What do you pair with Moira? And to me, the dream is the opposite way around. You look at your team comp and you go, what support do I pick that enables my team to do its job? If you have a very divey, aggressive team, you might want very divey, aggressive supports like Moira, like Lucio, things that get in there and get into the backline very quickly. You can even use Zenyatta, dictate Discord orb targets, stuff like that, yeah. And so if you have a very tanky comp or a very durable comp, then you can go more with Anna, Mercy, and Moira as well for the AoE healing
this is the
aspect.
Dream, right, isn't it?
Like, you can pick and choose for your supports.
Yeah, you should be like, you should be able to adapt. I mean, okay, obviously, as time goes on and we get more heroes in the game, this should hopefully happen more naturally, where there'll be a lot to choose from. Yes, there will be heroes that are not going to be effective. You know, hello, Mr. Doomfist, who the hell plays you right now, apart from Chipser, who plays him quite well, but you guys know we did the video on him?
Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, no, we're not. Like, he might actually be a ridiculously good player, so he can pull it off. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll end the video at this. It's been quite an in-depth discussion on the potential Season 7 best supports, and is the Mercy meta dead? Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. I'm sure there will be some very spicy comments. But remember, I love Mercy, and so does Josh. And we'll catch you on the next one, guys.
I love some spicy comments too. Toodles.
Toodaloo.